Today, we are going to be breaking down exactly how we achieve this studio look and how we go from this to something more like this. All right, so in this video, we're going to break it down into 4 different parts. So first, we are going to break down the lighting, which is arguably one of the most important parts of making a good looking video. Then we're going to go to the audio. Then we're going to break down what camera I'm using. And last, I'm going to show you how I use this in my week-to-week workflow. All right, let's go. All right, so lighting is one of the things that I am most passionate about. So I want to show you exactly how I do this. Now, disclaimer, this is going to be a little bit more overkill than probably what you need for these talking head style videos, but this is the equipment that I have access to, so we're going to use it. All right, so for our key light, which is your main light in the video, which you want to be as big as possible, we have the Aputure 300D with this giant softbox. And the reason you want to have a big source is because that's how you avoid those harsh looking shadows like you're standing out in the direct sun. So if you get a big softbox, then you're going to get those nice soft shadows on your face. Now this light itself is over $1,000. Now if you don't have the budget for that, a great alternative is the Godox SL60W. So it's still a light that you can attach a softbox to, and it's going to be bright enough for most of the videos that you make. Now for light number 2, which is not actually a light, I use this big bounce board for what is called a fill light. And basically what that is if it wasn't there, there would be a lot more shadows on my face. So we bring that in just to add a little bit more light. And then the third light, which is actually 2 lights, is called the rim light. I have these RGB lights that I found on Amazon. They're like $80, but I have used them for years and I swear by them. They are RGB, so they can be any color you want, and they're super powerful, so they're going to be bright enough for anything that you're going to want to do. Now, how I'm actually arranging these is called 3-point lighting. There are plenty of tutorials on YouTube on showing you exactly where to place the lights. All right, so that's lighting. Now time for the audio. So the stereotypical YouTuber microphone is the Shure SM7B. While that is a great microphone, it also costs $399. So we're going to go for a cheaper option, but I think they sound very similar. So right now I'm using the Shure MV7X. It goes for about $179. It's an XLR microphone, but it's a lot cheaper and it still sounds good. And then from the microphone, we're actually going into our Tascam Mixcast 4, which is our audio board. Now this is a little bit overkill again for just doing a 1-person talking head, but we do things like podcasts, so it's great for that. Now, if you're looking for an even cheaper microphone, I've heard really good things about the Rode PodMic. But if you don't want to be tied down in one place, a lot of people are going for wireless microphones. So here at the studio, we use the Rode Wireless Go 2s. There's also a lot of other companies that are making wireless microphones now. All right, now for the camera setup. So right now we're using the Sony ZV-E10 with a Sigma 16mm 1.4 lens. Now, if you want that blurry looking professional background, this is the lens that will get you that. So the camera body itself retails for about $599, and then you can also get the lens for about $350. Now, I'm not going to break down all the exact settings I use because it will change depending on what lighting situation you're in, but Think Media made a really good video breaking down the best settings to use for the Sony ZV-E10. All right, now time to put it all together. So there's 2 main ways that you can do this. First is by using memory cards. So we would put a memory card in the camera and then in the audio, and then we would sync up the audio in post. But we found an even faster workflow using OBS. So typically how we do it is we take the Sony ZV-E10 and then we use an Elgato Cam Link to bring that into OBS. And then we also have the Tascam Mixcast and we run a line into our Mac Mini, which also goes in OBS. The great thing about using OBS is once you have it all set up, you have your camera and your audio going into it, all you have to do is hit record and then the audio and the video is all synced up and is in one final file on your computer. Now, if you want to know exactly how to set up OBS with your Sony ZV-E10, I'll link a tutorial showing you how to get it set up. All right, that's the setup. If you guys have any questions about the setup or anything else, leave those in the comments and I'll see you next time.